Hi everyone, thank you for watching my channel, and today I'm wanting to talk about with you how to sense energy, because as a reader I find that the biggest thing that I deal with day to day in life is energy. So no matter what level you're at on your journey, the best thing you can do for yourself is to be able to tap into energy. And the reason that is because, say for instance, you're in a crowded place and you lock eyes with somebody and you're wanting to, ask them out or become friends with them. The first thing you need to do is go by your own intuition. And the universe is able to give you messages to invoke that intuition at that specific time if you are able to tune into that frequency, and also if you are relaxed enough to be able to keep your mind accessing your subconscious part of the mind, not the conscious part of the mind. So when we get guidance, no matter where you're at on this path, it always relays down to your subconscious part of the mind. So if you are thinking of a situation in your life and you're wanting to get an answer, yes or no, what to do, the best thing you can do is look down to the left-hand side, close your eyes, place your right palm on your heart and ask that question. Imagine it being written in front of you on a blackboard or a whiteboard, just so you can clearly see those letters. And with that wording, what you're doing is you're setting the intention to the universe that they can override any free will that's standing in the way, because we do have free will to make our own choices in life, and they're able to download images to us, smells, sounds. There's all different ways that you can use your abilities to decipher at that time to whether you're wanting to proceed with a situation or not. And if you're looking to the right hand side or straight ahead all the time when you're in a situation, you will find that it is very difficult to actually get guidance without your subconscious part of the mind jumping backwards and forwards. So prior to resuscitation, I always got guidance on the left-hand side, always, because that's your subconscious part of the mind. But since coming back, I can do both. So a lot of the time I'll look at the right-hand side and I'll look in the middle, because I'm constantly tuned with it throughout my entire day. But as a reader yourself, or as somebody getting guidance for who you are personally, you don't really want to be attuned to that energy 24/7, because it can be quite tiring unless you use it in your daily life as a professional full-time reader like myself. So if you're looking to the right-hand side, your conscious part of the mind saying, okay, right, we're going to talk about anything that's bothering you, any fear, any distractions, any uncomfortabilities, insecurities. And that's not what you need to get the guidance, especially when you're in times and situations. You'll find that if it's a really highly charged emotional situation, you're going to be running primarily on fear. So what you need to do is you need to relax and go through those levels of the brain so it can actually give you that guidance that you need. So going back, so you're asking yourself the question, you're looking at the left-hand side, it must be the right hand that goes to your heart, and you must have the palm of your hand touching your chest. Now, the reason being is there are 4 places we actually receive and send energy. It's the palms of the hand. So the left hand is the non-dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, your guidance is going to come from, with energy, when you're touching it or feeling it, will always come from your left. If you're left-handed, it'll always come from your right. So it's the non-dominant hand. But for instance, if you've got that connection to the universe and you've done Reiki, for instance, or if you just feel that your palm tingles, it's that palm that you can use to always sense everything. Now, to get used to it, the best way to test tapping into any energy to what palm to use, which, as I said, that's a general rule of thumb to what handed you are. So for instance, you get a crystal. This is a beautiful aquamarine crystal. There's a misconception out of there. People think that the bigger the crystal, the better. It's not. It's the actual vibration of the crystal, because our brain talks on brain waves and sound waves. That's why it responds really well. So if you're tired, you listen to delta brainwaves. Or if you're needing to relax, isochronic tones. So the universe will give you messages straight in sound. And then your brain has to match up to that sound and depict the wording of what they're trying to say, filter it through from your subconscious part of the mind, and get you to believe in yourself enough to receive those messages. So it's quite a long process for the universe. No wonder some people get discouraged and think, oh no, oh, I'm getting it wrong, what's happening? It's only normal, it just comes with practice. The more you practice to how you work individually as a person, the better. Because there's no same rule for every single person on this earth on how to connect into the universe. So when I do readings on people, I read into how they specifically connect, what avenues work for them. Because you're not the same as 20 other people around you if you were down the street. You're an individual, you're here on your own life path, living your own life purpose. So back to the crystal, the first thing we're going to do is use a crystal. So grab your left palm, right here is where you're going to place the bottom of the crystal down. Now you place your fingers over the top of that, and you'll find if you press down hard for the first 10 seconds, then release it, then softly hold on to it, and then just closing your eyes, holding your chest. It's from the fingertips and also down the bottom is where you'll feel energy. So if you're resonating with that stone, then you'll find that you're tapping into that frequency, which is why you'll sort of feel like a strong pull. Me, I feel like tingles like that, all in my hand, and then it goes down my arm. So once again, you're an individual, so it's what works for you. And the best crystals that you can work with are always the natural crystals. Doesn't matter if it's polished or not. The man-made crystals don't have that same vibration anywhere near that the natural crystals do. I personally don't work with man-made crystals very much at all, because I find that the crystals, you're defeating the purpose, you're taking the point away from the crystal. Now this crystal here would be over 2.5 million years old since it was created, right, approximately. And in that time, it is absorbing energy. It's like a tail inside that crystal. And it's made of all these elements, and that's what makes it so unique and special, because it has had all these things happen to it. And then our electromagnetic fields, which are about this far from our body, the emotional one, starts. Then this is tuning into electromagnetic fields. This has its own electromagnetic field. So essentially you're tuning in energy to energy, and that's how that really works with a crystal. There's crystals for healing, crystals to give you comfort. If you really need to release baggage, emotional disturbances, or you're feeling really stuck at the time, rose quartz. Rose quartz is the best to work with. Selenite is also fantastic to work with. No matter what, when you hold that crystal, it will get to work. It will start clearing your energy fields, even if you're not using it for that purpose. So it's always good to have a crystal that's for you. If you're handing it to someone else, imagine gold light. Now gold, glittery light. Gold light is actually the highest level that you can go up in the universe for energy. Now what energy looks like when you might have heard people say, oh, imagine yourself around in a white bubble or a green bubble. There's all different colors that you can use. Now, with the tar that's being poured on the road out of a truck, that's what thick, black, stuck energy looks like. So if you're being in an emotionally charged situation and you've taken on board the other person's feelings, which is only natural if you feel sorry for that person, or if you feel really conflicted within yourself at the time, they've come up to you and had that conversation with you about what's going on for them, your energetic boundaries are down. So your electromagnetic field out of your body is just tuning into theirs, blending, and your body's taken it on as your own energy, and the brain's tricking itself to believe that that frequency is how it's operating energetically. So that's how easy it is to pick up energy. Any furniture in your home you will find has every single conversation, every single memory that has ever gone on since you bought that home. And it's even by who's touched it to put it on the truck, where it's been sold at the furniture shop. And it never cleanses itself unless you cleanse it. So that's why antiques, when I hold an antique that's over 100 years old, I read into everybody's life in that have ever touched that antique. So it's good to know that you just need to have that awareness around energy. So with a crystal, that's a good way to tune into it. If you're also wanting to sense energy, the best way you can quickly sense energy is to get your hand like that, run it around like that, just clockwise. Always start with the left down the bottom, keep doing it, doing it, doing it. Doing it really quick, even if you count to 30, then pushing and pulling, counting to 30. And then here, counting to 30, in and out. And then what you do is you need to pull your fingers together and go round and around again, and again and again. Put them together, now slowly pull them apart. And you'll find that, don't force it, just let it go. You'll find that where it feels uncomfortable, that's where that energy stops that you've just created. So your body's outputting energy and your aura is trying to bring it back in, suck it back in. So you're feeling where it's stretched out to before it comes into your body. It's a good way to determine energy around you. If you're holding onto an object, anything that's a solid object will hold energy. So for instance, you're holding onto a candle, put your left palm underneath the candle, put your right palm on top of the candle, lift your hand up until you feel comfortable. And if you don't feel like it needs to go any further, that's where the energy expands of that particular item that you have. And another way, if you're seeing emotions come up within yourself, feeling them, and you're worried about a passed over loved one, or if you think, do I have angels here? Or is there energy here? Go to the corner of the room where you sort of feel it, and you can touch the wall and slowly bring your hand out. And then when you feel uncomfortable, stop, and then that's where that energy is. Or you can get some white sage. I've got sage here. And what you do is you light the sage, and then you just hold it from the bottom of the floor. All right, so if you're holding it from the floor, and the sage will go this, like horizontally, all the way up. Once it goes up straight, in a straight line, you know that the energy is clear. Yeah, that's how you can clear yourself. You start off your feet and you leave it. You don't need to wave it around everywhere. There's a misconception about that. But if you're doing a general big space that you're wanting to clear with energy, then you wave it around. But if you're just doing half of a room size, you just keep it still in the corners, then go into the middle, because you've got your elements, your earth, air, fire and water in different areas of the room. So there's different types of energy that run to keep our bodies running as well. So our body is scientifically designed to tap into those electromagnetic fields. So by clearing out any lower levels, which is lower vibration, of that frequency, then you're going to be remaining with a higher frequency, which will instantly make you feel better about yourself and happier. So that's why when people have a cleansed room with sage, if you can stand the smell, some people like it, some people don't, you'll find that that does make that big difference. Otherwise, rose quartz in some water, and if you use a bit of vodka as a base, make it up in a spray, use some rose oil, use 6 drops of rose oil, 3 lavender oil, and then 2 frankincense. Mix it in together, spray it in that bottle, and spray it in the corners of the room, and then spray it around you. And you'll find that all those elements work together to make a massive clearing of any emotional energy that has taken place, or any sort of yucky feelings that you're getting. So thank you for listening today, and here's some lovely tips for you to get you started with connecting into energy, because once you tune into it further, it'll just keep growing and growing and growing. So it doesn't matter what stage you're at, it will come, and that's the best thing you can do, because you'll be connecting into energy, and then when you need to make life decisions, you're looking down to the left-hand side a lot of the time, your subconscious part of the mind's going in with your connection, and then what it's doing there is it's telling you the answer. without your body being scientifically designed to either fight or flight in a situation that's really not dangerous. So body needs to learn to adjust itself, so then that way it knows that it's perfectly safe and you're able to get the guidance and make those decisions that you do need, because everyone has ups and downs in life, and we were born to actually have access to try and get guidance, and you're only doing what you're born to do. So thank you and have a lovely day. Bye.